A racist incident is an incident which is perceived to be racist by the victim or any other person. These are the names and faces of some who did not survive a racist incident.
One of the difficulties about racism is that sometimes we're not sure what it is, we're not sure if we should put up with it, and we're not sure what to do when it happens.
The reality, of course, is that the racist can be anybody. The other reality is that we can all be victims of racism, no matter who or what we are.
Racist incidents can take many forms, from the brutal to the trivial, from the subtle to the unsubtle, from complete strangers to people close to you. These are just some examples.
We can all be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I live in a small town in the south of England where only a handful of Asian people live. I normally take the back streets home when I'm on the night shift to avoid the group of boys that congregate by the shops. In the past, when I've seen them, I get the usual racial abuse, which I just ignore. But this night was very different. It was cold. I didn't see them straight away. I had my head down, but I could hear the footsteps behind me. What will always stay with me is the feeling of the boots kicking me in my head and my chest and my legs, and the verbal abuse they shouted at me. It seemed like it would never end. All I could do was to bring my hands up to my face to protect my eyes. I was in shock. Was this a random attack? Are they after my money? Was I just unlucky in the wrong place at the wrong time? As my head cleared, their voices still rang in my ears. I realised that I was the victim of a racial attack. What do I do now?
Sometimes it just wears us down.
I live on the 7th floor of a tower block. I never really wanted to move there, but I didn't have a choice. It was either that or the disgusting one-bedroom flat that me and my kids were living in before. I'm an Asian woman with 2 mixed-race children, and I've got used to racist comments. This is what it's like in this country. Even though I've lived here for 2 years, my neighbours don't really talk to me, and some are just nasty, but I don't care. If they don't bother me, I won't bother them. Lately, when I take the lift down to the ground floor, there are these little kids who can't be more than 12. They shout racist names at me and my children. It's been going on for months, and when I'm feeling down, it really does get to me. I'm really scared that my children will get used to this abuse, and I don't want them to think it's normal. Do I really have to put up with this? I don't know if I can put up with this anymore. What do I do now?
Sometimes it's embarrassing talking about it.
This was the first day at my new school. I'd forgotten my jumper and my bag was too heavy, as my mum stuffed all kinds of things in it that I knew I was never going to use. I admit I was a little bit nervous. When I got there, all the other boys seemed so tall and I felt so small. I couldn't see many boys that looked like me, and sometimes it's not good to stand out. When the other boys didn't talk to me, I thought it was because they might have known each other from before, but then some of them seemed to be passing secret messages to each other in class, but I just ignored it. I was quite good at football. I thought I might join in when I was in the playground, but the ball never came to me. Then the monkey noises started, and the giggling when I walked past. It wasn't until the 3rd day that a small group of boys started bumping into me, on purpose. and it didn't take long until the bad words started. I just wanted to go to school to make new friends, but all those boys were never going to stop. What do I do now?
Sometimes it's just idle chat.
It was a normal day at the office, and we always have a good laugh at break time. As usual, the papers were full of reports about immigration and asylum seekers. We started talking about it, but I was getting really uncomfortable with the tone of the conversation. Someone said, they're all lazy. And someone else said, they're all a bunch of criminals. Another person didn't think they had the right to be in the country. The language was getting actually racist. It's just as well that there was no one nearby who'd be really hurt by it. People at work don't know that my girlfriend is black. I'm not going to join in with their racist chatter. Should I just ignore them? Should I confront them? What do I do now?
Sometimes we know we must do something, but what?
I still find it difficult to understand why some people waste their time making obscene racist graffiti in literature, demonstrating nothing more than their hatred for people who are different, because of their colour, their religion, or nationality. I've seen this loathsome work on walls and lampposts. I've seen it in leaflets on posters. I know this is offensive to many people and not just those who it's directed to. I find it wrong, I find it unacceptable, and I think I should really do something. But I'm not sure what. What do I do now?
If for some reason you don't want to take the matter any further officially, but you do want to keep a record of what's happened, you may want to take notes.
By recording details of the incident, indicating the date, the time, the place, descriptions or identities of perpetrators, any identities of witnesses, your feelings at the time. This may prove to be useful if matters become worse. Information of a history of problems will always be useful. If you wish to formally report this, you still have the option of asking the authorities to simply record your complaint or to ask them to take some action. This can be done at a number of locations, but mainly at your local police station, Southampton City Council, your local housing office if you're a tenant, your local housing association if you're a tenant. Details will be taken and you'll be advised of progress. Reports can also be made anonymously at Gateway at the Southampton City Council Civic Centre.
Wherever incidents are registered and reported, steps will be taken to help you, and care will be taken to ensure the safety of those reporting incidents. It's important for the city to register as many incidents as take place, whether you want them dealt with or not, so that we can all measure the scale of the problem and find ways to tackle it.
The city has been enriched by its diversity, and the contributions made by people of all races is expressed in all aspects of the city's life.
Racism must be challenged wherever and whenever it's encountered, whether you're a victim or a witness. You have the opportunity to help yourself and to help us make this a better place for us all.